Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Today on The Young and the Restless, Tracy introduces Alan to Christine and Danny. Phyllis and Nick talk about dating, and Daniel tries putting a word in for his sister with Kyle. Credit: Howard Wise/JPI. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, Soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. In Ashley's Paris apartment, Tracy picks up a video call from Jack. He's up late and can't sleep. Jokingly, he suggests they swap places, but she's good where she is. He can see how radiant she's looking, and his sister explains she's been having a lovely time. She's so proud of how Ashley is improving. He's sure that's a weight off her shoulders. Tracy is finally feeling some hope and looking forward to the opportunities ahead for all of them. She explains that she's planning to stay in the city longer. Teasing her, he assumes that there's a reason for this. She admits that she's been spending a lot of time with Ellen. Jack thinks he's a good guy and is sure they have been supporting each other through a hard time. There's a rap at her door, so she has to get off the phone and tells him to get some sleep. When she opens the door, she's startled to find Danny and Christine there. The three hug, and she brings them in. The couple needed to make sure they came to see her while they were visiting Paris. He declares that the tour has been fantastique. Christine wipes the lipstick from a fan in the lobby off his cheek. They ask her out for breakfast. Alan arrives at the door and is immediately introduced to her friends. The doctor feels a little starstruck, and they ask him to join them for breakfast. Danny teases that he can tell him all about Tracy's less innocent days when she was part of the band. Tracy, Alan, Danny, and Christine go to the bistro. Alan is sure that Christine is the envy of many fans. After some chuckling, Danny asks how they became friends. Tracy explains they didn't meet under the best of circumstances. They involved Ashley, who was taking some time for herself but doing well. Now Tracy is looking forward to the future. So it's Alan. He gets a call and has to step away. Immediately, Tracy is suppressing her giggles as Christine and Danny tell her how awesome Alan is. Tracy admits it's moving fast, but it feels right. Danny and Christine walk Alan and Tracy back to the apartment. They all had a great time, so Danny invites them to his show tonight. Danny warns he will pull Tracy onto the stage for a song or two. Laughing, Alan warns them he will be crowd surfing. Once Christine and Danny exit, Alan tells Tracy it was wonderful to meet her friends. They clearly adore her, and he can understand why. He kisses her. At Crimson Lights, Phyllis wants another espresso, but Nick notes she's already wound up about their daughter and on the verge of twitching. She suspects that Summer's plan to go after custody for Harrison is a knee-jerk reaction because she's jealous. They know she has great maternal intuition, and Phyllis worries Kyle is going down a slippery slope. He suggests they let their daughter handle this on her own. Phyllis suggests they change the venue to somewhere they can relax. Phyllis and Nick go to the bar at the athletic club, where she orders red wine and fries as he sips beer. He tells her they can't control what happens with their daughter. Their age of influence ended when she became a teenager. Phyllis refuses to believe that Summer takes their opinions as sage wisdom. Nick thinks she will do whatever she wants. No matter how much wisdom they dole out, it's best if they let her work things out on her own. Hopefully, she will avoid going to court with Kyle. Phyllis agrees that would be great in a perfect world, but he muses on how they are acting like they have all the answers just because they have a few gray hairs. That doesn't go over well with the redhead, so he assures her he's talking about himself. She just wants everything good for her daughter, and for her to have no pain. It's hard not to see the potential mistakes and want to stop them. Nick tells her that he's been taking a trip down memory lane lately. Faith just came home after a breakup, and that led to a conversation about his history with Sharon. Phyllis knows that was a rocky road and wonders if she should duck for cover next time she sees Faith. Nick assures her that she already knew about most of it, and Sharon was charitable about Phyllis' role in their splits. She asks him if he was drawn back into the romance, or he is now done with love. Wouldn't you like to know? He jokes. She's sure that a hot dad with a pulse like him can find someone. She's determined never to get into a relationship again, not after that loser singer she was involved with. Excitedly, she imagines Christine stuck in a bumpy tour van with sweaty men until he points out they probably went to Europe on a private jet. As the club shuts down for the night, Nick and Phyllis head for the exit. In the foyer, she taunts him again about dating. He's not planning on dating. The app thing makes no sense to him, and he'll be chilling solo. She doesn't buy it. They thank each other for the night. She slowly goes up the stairs. As he exits, she looks back down to see him go. Daniel sidles up to Kyle at the bar in Society and pays his commiseration over losing his job at Jabba. Kyle is sure Summer must have tipped him off. They talk about how Kyle is out because his mom fired him and Daniel is out because his ex did. Kyle adds that when one door closes, a better one opens. They toast to it. Daniel is impressed he has something lined up. Kyle isn't getting specific and tells him that Summer needs to relax. Being ambitious doesn't make him a lesser father. She better tread lightly or this will blow up in her face. Daniel doubts that threats are the best way to respond to this situation, but Kyle thinks his ex is seeking some kind of revenge because he hired Claire. Again, Daniel urges him to see this through his sister's point of view. Kyle is sure that Summer's only goal is to cause him pain. Standing up, he urges him to tell his sister to back off before she lives to regret it. Once Kyle storms off, Tessa exclaims, "Yikes." She reminds Daniel that the last time they spoke, she gave him advice on putting his life back together. He remembers, and what just happened with Kyle is not a reflection on that. His sister could likely use her advice. Tessa asks if Summer asked him to fix his life. If she didn't, he shouldn't meddle. Daniel admits that solid advice but hands off is not how his family does things. When he brags about how dysfunctional they are, she counter-brags about her sister running from the law. Things are better now. He's sorry for underestimating everything she's been through. Claire wanders into Crimson Lights to get something for her mom's breakfast. Victor pops up to get a croissant and recommends the eclairs to her. They are her favorite. He asks her to sit and talk. After they get a table, she tells him she thought eclairs were named after her when she was a kid. As she wipes cream from her face, her grandfather asks if she was on a date with Kyle when he saw them earlier. She assures him that it wasn't a date. Victor says she's done nothing wrong, but there are some things she should know about the abbot. He asks her about how close they have become, and remarks that it's rather odd that Kyle is confiding in her. He barely knows you. You're just his son's nanny, he notes. Claire wonders if he disapproves of their friendship. He doesn't, but he knows Kyle better than her. He reminds her that he just divorced his other granddaughter, urging her to proceed with caution. He says he doesn't want her to become involved in Kyle's turmoil. She can appreciate what he's saying, but thinks Kyle just wants someone to listen to him. Her grandfather tells her he never wants anyone to take advantage of her life like Jordan did. They hold hands, and she assures him she feels cared for. She repeats that Kyle is not a danger. He explains that sometimes people can change and hurt people without intending to. That's not what he wants for her. Claire doesn't know how she ever believed her aunt. Victor tells her not to blame herself and urges her to come to him if she ever has any doubts. He's very concerned about keeping his family safe. Growing up in an orphanage taught him the value of keeping them safe, no matter what. He offers to drive her home, but she drove herself. Before he can go, he tells her that it's not that he dislikes Kyle, but that he's Jack's son, and that means she should proceed with caution. When Kyle returns to the Abbott manse, he pours himself a drink. Jack approaches and his son tells him he's not in the mood for more judgment. His father just wants them to talk. He tells him that Claire has been great for Harrison and compliments him on how he excels as a father. Great father, lousy heir apparent. Kyle snipes. They start bickering about his firing. Jack reminds him he pushed for Diane's hiring. His son says that he should have handed him the reins when Billy left, but he didn't trust him or think he was capable. Kyle is determined to prove how wrong he was. His father wonders what this means. This is all riddles. Slurring his words, Kyle declares that he is the new head of Glissade. He'll be working with Audra. Tucker is out, and now he will be one of Genoa City's most powerful men. They have the money to drive Jabot out of business. I would have done anything for you, Dad, and for Jabot, but not anymore. I work for the enemy, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. Kyle tells him